There are moments in life when everything feels slow, when progress seems delayed, when you look at others and wonder, why is it taking me so long? But what if I told you what took someone else 30 years, 40 years, even a lifetime to build? God can do it for you in a moment. Not because you are more qualified, not because you are more talented, but because He is God of acceleration. And if you stay with me through this message, you will discover why your delay is not denial, why your waiting is not wasted, and why you may be standing on the edge of the fastest breakthrough of your life. There is a mystery in the way God works. Man works with time, but God works with timing. People measure progress by calendars. God measures progress by alignment. You may say, it's been years. God says, it only takes one moment. One moment of favor, one moment of connection, one moment of divine encounter, and suddenly everything changes. Look at your life. There are seasons where nothing seems to move. Doors remain closed. Efforts seem unnoticed. But those are not wasted seasons. Those are hidden seasons. Because when God prepares you in secret, He promotes you in public quickly. When the time comes, He does not need years. He does not need decades. He needs a moment. Faith is the key. Not small faith, not hesitant faith, but bold, expectant faith that says, I may not have what others have. I may not have gone as far as they have, but my God can take me farther, faster. Because faith connects you to a God who is not bound by human limitation. And when faith rises, speed is released. Some of you have been discouraged. You've compared your journey to others. You've felt behind. You've wondered if you missed your chance. But hear this clearly. You are not behind. You are being positioned. And when God positions you, He does not move slowly. He moves suddenly. There is something called divine acceleration. It means where others struggled step by step, you will rise leap by leap. Where others build slowly, you will build swiftly. Where others labored for years, you will see results in days. Not because life is unfair, but because grace is at work. But there is a condition. You must stay ready. You must stay obedient. You must stay faithful, even in silence. Because when the moment comes, there will be no time to prepare. The preparation is now. The manifestation is coming. So don't give up. Don't slow down. Don't lose hope. Because what took others a lifetime, God is about to do in your life in a way that will leave people wondering, how did it happen so fast? And your answer will be simple. It was not me, it was God. There is something powerful and almost unbelievable about the nature of God. He is not restricted by the timelines that govern human life. While people measure their progress in years, decades, and sometimes an entire lifetime, God operates outside of that limitation. What takes a person years of struggle, learning, failure, and rebuilding can be accomplished by God in a fraction of that time. This is what makes divine acceleration so extraordinary. It defies logic, breaks patterns, and rewrites expectations. Think about how the world works. Success is often described as a long journey. People are told to trust the process, to endure the years, to climb slowly, step by step. And while discipline and perseverance are important, there is a higher dimension where God intervenes and changes the pace entirely. In that realm, time is no longer the controlling factor. God's power is. When He decides to move in your life, things can shift so quickly that it feels like everything you waited for has suddenly arrived all at once. This does not mean that time has no value, but it means that time does not have the final authority. You may have spent years trying to build something, praying for something, or becoming someone. From a human perspective, it may seem like progress is slow or even stagnant. But God sees the full picture. He understands what needs to be aligned, what needs to be prepared, and what needs to be released. And when everything is in place, He can bring it all together in a single moment. There are moments in life when doors open that no amount of effort alone could have unlocked. Opportunities appear that you did not spend decades chasing. Favor finds you in ways you cannot explain. These are not coincidences. They are manifestations of divine acceleration. It is God compressing time, taking what should have taken years and bringing it into a much shorter span. What makes this even more profound is that God is not reacting to human timelines. He is not under pressure to meet deadlines or follow a schedule. Instead, He works according to purpose. When your life aligns with His purpose, the pace can change instantly. What seemed delayed suddenly becomes immediate. What felt distant suddenly becomes present. And what looked impossible suddenly becomes reality. This truth challenges the way we think. It calls us to shift our focus from how long something is taking to who is in control of the outcome. If you believe that everything depends only on time and effort, then you will always feel limited by both. But if you understand that God can step in at any moment and accelerate your journey, then hope begins to rise again. It means you can look at your situation differently. Instead of saying, "It will take me years to get there," you begin to say, "If God moves, it can happen sooner than I expect." That mindset changes everything. It gives you strength to keep going, even when progress seems slow. It reminds you that delay does not mean denial, and that waiting does not mean you have been forgotten. Divine acceleration is not about skipping growth, but about experiencing God's power in a way that surpasses natural expectations. It is about recognizing that while others may take a long road, God can create a shorter path for you. And when that happens, it becomes clear that it was not just hard work or coincidence. It was God doing what only He can do, moving beyond time and bringing you into something greater, faster than you ever imagined. There is a difference between working hard and believing deeply. Many people spend their lives relying only on effort, discipline, and consistency. And while those things have value, they are not the ultimate force that brings transformation. Faith is what shifts the atmosphere. Faith is what opens doors that effort alone cannot open. It is the invisible key that activates what cannot be achieved through human strength alone. Faith is not just a feeling or a hopeful thought. It is a firm conviction that what God has promised is already in motion, even when there is no visible evidence. It means you are able to stand in the middle of delay and still declare that something is happening. It means you can look at the closed door and believe it will open, not because of your ability, but because of God's power. This kind of faith does something powerful. It invites divine intervention into your situation. When faith is present, speed is released. Not necessarily because circumstances immediately change on the outside, but because something shifts on the inside first. Your perspective changes. Your expectations rise. You stop thinking in terms of limitations and begin to think in terms of possibilities. And when your mindset aligns with belief, your actions begin to follow. You move differently. You speak differently. You carry a sense of expectation that attracts opportunities and aligns you with the right moments. Many people delay their own progress, not because they lack ability, but because they lack belief. They hesitate, they doubt, they second guess. They wait until everything looks perfect before they move forward. But faith does not wait for perfect conditions. Faith moves even when things are uncertain. It steps forward when others step back. It trusts when others doubt. And in doing so, it positions you for acceleration. Faith also sustains you in seasons where nothing seems to be happening. There are times when you will not see immediate results. Times when your efforts feel unnoticed and your prayers feel unanswered. In those moments, it is easy to lose momentum. But faith keeps you steady. It reminds you that just because you cannot see movement does not mean there is no progress. It anchors you in the belief that something is being prepared behind the scenes. And then there are moments when everything suddenly changes. What seemed slow begins to move quickly. What felt distant becomes near. These moments are not random. They are often the result of sustained faith. It is as if your belief has been building pressure, and when the right moment comes, it releases all at once. That is when acceleration becomes visible. Faith does not make you passive. It makes you active in a different way. Instead of striving out of fear, you begin to move with confidence. Instead of forcing outcomes, you begin to trust the process while still taking action. There is a balance where you are doing your part, but you are also fully aware that the outcome is in God's hands. Another powerful aspect of faith is that it disconnects you from comparison. When you believe deeply, you are no longer distracted by how fast or slow others are moving. You understand that your journey is different and that your timing is not defined by what you see around you. This frees you from unnecessary pressure and allows you to focus on what truly matters: your relationship with God and your alignment with His purpose. Faith creates an environment where acceleration becomes possible. It is like preparing the ground before the rain comes. Without faith, even if opportunities appear, you may not recognize them or step into them. But with faith, you are ready, you are alert, you are expectant, and when the moment arrives, you move without hesitation. Ultimately, faith connects you to something greater than yourself. It shifts your dependence away from your own limitations and places it on God's unlimited power. And when that connection is strong, what once seemed like it would take years can begin to happen much faster. Not because the natural process has changed, but because you are no longer relying on natural means alone. You are operating in a dimension where belief unlocks possibilities and where God responds to faith by releasing a kind of progress that cannot be explained by human effort alone. There are seasons in life that feel slow, quiet, and even unproductive. Times where you are putting in effort but not seeing results, learning lessons that no one else notices, and enduring challenges that seem to have no immediate reward. It is easy in those moments to assume that nothing significant is happening, or worse, that you are being left behind. But what often feels like delay is not a denial of progress. It is preparation taking place beneath the surface. Preparation is rarely visible. It happens in the hidden places of your life, in your character, your mindset, your discipline, and your ability to handle what you're asking for. If everything came instantly without preparation, it would be easy to lose it just as quickly. So instead of rushing the process, God often uses time to build the capacity required to sustain what is coming. This is not wasted time, it is necessary time. What makes this powerful is that preparation and manifestation do not move at the same speed. Preparation can feel slow, even frustrating. But when the moment of manifestation arrives, it often happens suddenly. It is like a seed planted in the ground. For a long time, there is no visible growth. But underneath, roots are forming, strength is developing, and life is building. Then one day, it breaks through the surface, and from that point forward, growth becomes visible and rapid. Many people give up during the preparation phase because they misunderstand it. They expect constant visible progress, and when they do not see it, they lose motivation. But the truth is, some of the most important growth in your life will happen where no one can see it. It is in those hidden seasons that your foundation is being strengthened, your patience is being developed, your perspective is being shaped, and your resilience is being tested. Preparation also aligns the right circumstances around you. It is not just about changing you, it is about arranging what is outside of you as well. The right people, the right opportunities, the right timing. These things often require coordination that you cannot control. While you are being prepared internally, things are also being positioned externally. When both are ready, the shift can happen very quickly. This is where the idea of suddenly comes in. After a long period of quiet preparation, there can be a moment where everything changes at once. Doors that were once closed begin to open. Opportunities that seemed distant suddenly become accessible. Recognition comes faster than expected. To others, it may look like overnight success, but they did not see the preparation that made it possible. There is also a sense of readiness that comes from preparation. When your moment arrives, you will not be overwhelmed by it because you have been built for it. You will have the maturity, the wisdom, and the strength to step into it confidently. Without that preparation, even a good opportunity can become a burden. But with it, you are able to handle the speed of change without losing stability. Understanding this changes how you view your current situation. Instead of being discouraged by what you do not see, you begin to value what is being developed. Instead of rushing ahead, you become more intentional with where you are. You realize that every lesson, every delay, and every challenge is contributing to something greater. Preparation requires trust. It requires you to believe that there is purpose in the process, even when it is not clear. It asks you to remain consistent, even when results are not immediate. And it challenges you to stay focused, even when distractions try to pull you away. But when preparation meets the right moment, the results can be remarkable. What seemed like a long and quiet season can lead to a rapid and visible breakthrough. Progress that once felt slow becomes accelerated. And opportunities that once seemed out of reach become part of your reality. In the end, preparation is not a sign that you are stuck. It is a sign that you are being readied for something greater. And when that preparation is complete, it will not take years for things to change. It can happen in a moment, where everything you have been working toward begins to unfold quickly, showing that the waiting was not in vain, but was setting the stage for something far greater than you could have achieved on your own. There is a path in life that many people take, and it is often long, difficult, and filled with unnecessary detours. Not because success is meant to be exhausting, but because people rely solely on their own understanding. They make decisions based on limited knowledge, emotions, or pressure, and as a result, they spend years correcting mistakes, recovering from wrong turns, and trying to find their way back. But there is another way, a way that shortens the journey, and that is the path of obedience. Obedience is not weakness, and it is not blind submission. It is the deliberate choice to trust God's direction above your own reasoning. It is recognizing that He sees what you cannot see, knows what you do not know, and understands the outcome before the journey even begins. When you walk in obedience, you are not just moving, you are being guided. And guidance has the power to eliminate unnecessary delays. Think about how much time is lost when decisions are made without direction. A single wrong choice can cost years. A missed opportunity can set you back. A step taken in the wrong direction can require a long process of correction. But when you follow God's leading, you avoid many of these setbacks. It does not mean the journey will be without challenges, but it does mean the journey will be purposeful and efficient. Obedience has a way of aligning you with the right place at the right time. It positions you where you need to be, even when it does not make sense at first. There will be moments when the direction you feel led to take seems unusual or even uncomfortable. It may not match your expectations, and it may not be what others around you understand. But obedience often requires you to move beyond logic and step into trust. This is where many people struggle. They want clarity before they act. They want guarantees before they move. But obedience does not always come with full explanations. Sometimes it is a simple instruction, a step to take, a decision to make, a direction to follow. And it is in taking that step that the next part becomes clear. If you wait until everything makes sense, you may miss the very path that was meant to accelerate your journey. There is also a timing element to obedience. It is not just about doing the right thing, but doing it at the right time. Delayed obedience can sometimes have the same effect as disobedience because it causes you to miss the moment. When God gives direction, it is often connected to timing that you cannot fully see. Acting in alignment with that timing can open doors quickly, while hesitation can cause those same doors to close. Obedience also builds trust between you and God. The more you follow His direction, the more you begin to recognize His voice. The more you recognize His voice, the more confident you become in your decisions. This creates a flow in your life where you are not constantly second-guessing or wandering aimlessly. Instead, you are moving with a sense of purpose and clarity. And then there is the result of obedience. It has a way of producing outcomes that go beyond what you could have planned on your own. It can lead you to opportunities you did not even know existed. It can connect you with people who play a key role in your journey. It can bring you into situations that accelerate your progress in ways that effort alone could not achieve. What might have taken years of trial and error can be shortened because you are not relying solely on your own path. You are following a path that has already been mapped out with purpose. This is where the idea of a shortened journey becomes real. Not because life becomes effortless, but because unnecessary struggles are removed.